I love you. I love you. And I've always loved you.
You're a fucking baby.
Because you start physical fights?
You're such a baby!
Because
Grow
you,
the fuck up,
because you start
Johnny.
physical fights?
I did start a physical fight.
Yeah, you did.
But I did not punch you. I did not fucking deck you. I fucking was hitting you.
Is it your testimony that you never committed any act of what would be considered domestic violence against Mr. Depp?
Oh my god, I thought the first time.
Amber, I lost a fucking finger, man. Come on.
I did my best to defend myself and not get seriously hurt.
Corroborated, then it is a plan. I'm going to put makeup on myself and take pictures throughout years and just sit on it for years.
Hello friends, how are you guys today? My name is Shanda and I hope you guys are all having an amazing day so far. I want to start this video off like I do every video and say thank you guys so much for clicking on this video. I really hope that you guys enjoy the video and like it, and if you don't like it, I hope you at least give it a chance. And if you're returning to my channel, thank you guys so much for returning to my channel. It really means a lot to me and I really appreciate it so much. So what I want to do today is I want to do a huge update video on the JD and Amber situation. If you guys have not seen, I did another video on this a couple months ago, and this video is pretty much their entire relationship and divorce and the start of the UK trial. Well, not the start, but the whole UK trial, I think. Yeah. And this video is pretty much their whole beginning and complete story, but there's been so much that has happened since the UK trial, so this video is going to be an update from the UK trial to now. And it's almost like every other day there's more crazy stuff coming out, so I want to get everybody completely updated, and then after that, every time something happens, I can make a short video and keep everybody updated, but I want to get everybody up to speed before we do that. So why don't you guys sit back, relax, grab a snack, and we will get right into it. Okay guys, so if you guys have not seen the first video, pretty much they were married, they got divorced. He gave her a big settlement. She supposedly donated that settlement, the whole thing, and then about 2 years later she came out as a DV survivor and pretty much said that JD DV'd her. And then after that, the Sun, which is a news outlet in the UK, they decided to call him a beater, and then that ended up causing him his role in Pirates of the Caribbean franchise as Jack Sparrow, and then they also Warner Brothers also asked him to step down as Grindelwald in Fantastic Beasts 3. So he was losing jobs here and there because of that news outlet. Now, so what he did was he sued them, because he sued them for libel, which that is pretty much what libel is, so he definitely had a case, and he always maintained his innocence, but he ended up losing the UK trial, and the judge pretty much sided with AH, even though he had plenty of evidence to the contrary and she had no evidence, and there was several witnesses saying that he never did anything, and I mean, there was no evidence showing that he did do anything, but the judge still completely sided with Amber just because she said it, so it must have happened. Is pretty much what everybody is saying. So anyway, he lost that, so he went ahead and appealed it the first time. He appealed the decision, and the first time he appealed it, the appeal went directly to Justice Nickel, which is the same judge that resided over the entire case. And of course the judge was like, I didn't make a mistake, and threw it out. I mean, wouldn't that be what you would do if you resided over a situation and then they came back and said you were wrong and you were the one who got to decide whether you were wrong or not? I mean, of course he said no. But you get 2 appeals. So JD went ahead and appealed a second time, and now the second appeal actually was approved. Now the second appeal was approved. I need 2 hands for this. The second appeal was actually approved, but they said that they needed the weekend or so to like review everything, and they ended up denying that as well. And you only get 2, so he was out of options at that point. I know there was a lot of crap on the internet because AH's counsel, she like put out a statement about how they were proud, blah blah blah, and then AH, instead of retweeting it, she actually like changed a bunch of stuff and like made it sound like worse, and then put that out. I'll look for those and I'll put them right here for you guys. Okay, so the first thing that I want to talk about the UK trial is the conflict of interest. Why is Justice Nickel even residing over that case? Why did he reside over that case at all? That he had the biggest conflict of interest I've ever seen in my life, and I cannot believe he didn't recuse himself. I mean, that's how it is here. I'm pretty sure that's how it is over there too. But the conflict of interest and the bias on this case is insane. I want to thank, shout out to that Umbrella guy. He covers a lot of stuff with JD, and he had a video about this. I'll put it in the description box down below. But like the judge, his son works for Dan Wooten, and Dan Wooten is in litigations with JD. Like, it's literally JD versus NGN, the son, and Dan Wooten. And Dan Wooten works with Justice Nickel's son. So that right there is already a huge conflict of interest. But not only that, but the judge, Justice Nickel, now he also wrote a book. And he wrote a book with a guy named Jeffrey Robertson. And he was also employed by the firm Dowdy Saint, I think it is. I'm sorry if I'm butchering that. I probably am. But Jeffrey Robertson is Jen Robertson's mentor and employer. I don't know if they're married or related at all, but they have the same last name. But he's her mentor and her employer. Now, Jen Robertson, who is Jen Robertson, you might ask? Well, Jen Robertson is AH's counsel. I don't know. Jen Robertson also brought AH to a private dinner during the trial. At this private dinner, there was somebody named Baroness Helena Kennedy. Sorry, I'm terrible with names. And Kathy Lett. Probably got that one right. Kennedy was also with the same firm, Dowdy Saint. That law firm, and Kathy Lett was Jeffrey Robertson's ex-wife. So Jeffrey Robertson, the guy that the judge wrote a book with, his ex-wife is Kathy Lett, and she was at this private dinner during the trial. And she's also a mutual friends with a woman named Camila Palmer. Now, Camila Palmer is none other than Justice Nickel's wife. So, with all of this, what in the hell is this judge doing residing over this case? And why hasn't this been talked about more? I don't understand. So, that right there should have told JD that he was gonna lose. No offense. So, there has been several subpoenas for basic discovery for this new trial. So there is a new trial, and it's not new, but when JD decided to sue the son for libel, he also sued AH for defamation of character, and he sued her for $50 million. Now, she tried to get this lawsuit thrown out. Her and her lawyers tried everything they could to just get this thrown out, but that did not work. So when it didn't work, she decided to countersue for $100 million, claiming that JD orchestrated a smear campaign against her, which costed her jobs and whatever. Okay, so you guys remember the divorce settlement that we were talking about? The $7 million is what she got. Now, she said that she donated that entire $7 million, right? She said that she split it right down the middle, 3.5 and 3.5 million, and she gave 3.5 million to the Children's Hospital of Los Angeles, and she gave the other half to the ACLU. Now, she definitely loved saying this all over the media, and she testified to it at the UK trial, and literally the judge at the end of the UK trial, when he gave his verdict, he basically said, he literally said, quote, "Depp tried to paint Heard as a gold digger, and I do not accept this characterization of Heard. Donating the entire divorce settlement is hardly the act of a gold digger," end quote. So, like, the judge literally, by saying that, he literally pretty much admitted that he was gonna, that's a big reason for his verdict, was her donating the settlement, right? Well, now she has to actually prove that she donated that settlement. So, because of her using it at the UK trial and this and that, like, she pretty much has to now actually prove that she donated all this money, which, I mean, makes perfect sense. Well, AH tried to squash that subpoena, and she had several objections, and it didn't work, and she still has to provide proof. Well, she completely stonewall and has been stonewalling basic discovery for a long time now, and she is literally just absolutely refusing to provide any kind of proof or documentation of anything, any of his JD subpoenas that he's been giving her. Now, she literally got, like, sanctioned, and I mean, still won't provide proof. Now, the Children's Hospital of Los Angeles, they have been forthcoming, a little slow because of the whole pandemic and everything, but they've been forthcoming nonetheless, and they have shown that she has not donated anything to them so far, nothing. But the ACLU is completely stonewalling as well. And at first I didn't get that. I was like, why? Wouldn't they be, like, upset if she pledged all this money and then never delivered? Wouldn't they want to be like, yeah, she didn't deliver? But they're stonewalling, and they're completely not even answering their subpoena at all. And recently, JD had to actually file a lawsuit. You okay? Recently, JD actually had to file a lawsuit against the ACLU to get them to actually respond to this subpoena, which that is brand new news. I'm kind of getting ahead of myself, but let's start with the Virginia trial. So the Virginia trial was supposed to start, it was set to start in April of 2021, and they delayed this trial to May of 2022. Now, when I first saw the delay, I was like, May, okay, a month, and then 2022, and I was like, oh, that's a long delay. And at first I was upset because I wanted to see this trial, I wanted to go ahead and get it going, and I was upset that it was delayed for 13 months. But then, after I did, like, some more research and I figured out what all was going on, I was like, oh, I'm really glad that they delayed it. It's a really good thing that they delayed it that long, and let me tell you why. Remember I was telling you that Amber sorry. Remember I told you that she was like stonewalling Basic Discovery and she wasn't giving any kind of documentation or anything? Well, they pretty much sanctioned her and the judge was getting upset with her. The judge was getting upset with her and he sanctioned her and everything like that. But she still refused to provide the documentation. Now, if the trial would have started anyway, when it was supposed to start, she would have been able to get around that and not have to show any proof of anything, because she, like, yeah, the judge was upset, yeah, he, you know, had it up to here with her, and they sanctioned her several times, but the trial still would have started without Basic Discovery, so she wouldn't have had to prove any of that still. Nice tactic from her, but when it's delayed 13 months, there's no way she's going to be able to stonewall Basic Discovery for that long. So it didn't really work out for her the way she wanted it to. So anyway, now she has to turn all of that stuff over. And basically it's going to show that she did not donate any of that money. Well, she ended up pretty much admitting that she didn't donate that money. Her attorneys said that she meant to donate that money. She still is going to donate that money, but because of JD suing her, she's been tied up in all these legal fees and everything and wasn't able to donate it. Well, that argument may have worked if none of this started until 2 years after she got the settlement. So she got this settlement and it wasn't even 2 years until all this stuff started. So she had 24 months to donate that money. Why didn't she? But she definitely said all over the place and testified to already had donated it. Look at this.
Flying your way when you said all this, and then there was a divorce settlement, you got $7 million. People were saying this is all about the money, but then you did something that twisted that whole argument. What did you do with that money?
$7 million in total was donated to, I split it between the ACLU and Children's Hospital of Los Angeles.
ACLU, that I've never heard
I wanted nothing.
See, she literally said was donated. So she's telling everybody she already donated that money. So yeah, she definitely needs to face some kind of consequences or perjury or something, because she definitely testified to it at the UK trial as well and said that she had already donated this money. Whee! It worked! Pretty, pretty, pretty. Okay, now I also just found this out as well. But, this is something else that, like, more will come out soon, so I'll be able to do little videos and update you guys on that. But, the ACLU has pretty much, they admitted, that they were colluding behind the scenes with AH. Now, there are multiple emails between, the ACLU and AH, and they're putting together an article. And this article is supposed to be something to make JD the face of, to push to Congress. I don't know any more than that right now. I don't know if it is to, like, for something about DV or something like that. But AH is trying to say that this never happened. But again, there are emails. And so I don't know. This is brand new, fresh information. So I don't know anything more than that right now, but I will keep you guys updated on that as well. Because earlier, remember I said I wasn't sure why they would be like stonewalling Basic Discovery like that and not begin responding to their subpoenas. Like, why would they be doing that for her, especially if she didn't donate the money like she said she did? So that was, and now I'm like, that makes sense, you know? So AH has been gearing up for her side of the defamation trial. She's been sending out subpoenas left and right, trying to dig up some kind of information to, like, that will lessen her damages. So she sent a subpoena to Disney, and this subpoena was literally 18,000 pages. Now, of course, that didn't really fly. So after numerous phone calls and emails and discussions between AH's attorney and Disney, they agreed that they would perform, Disney agreed that they would perform a limited search and get certain documents, and her attorney said that that would suffice, that that was fine. Well, that is what they did. They both agreed to this. Did I say that right? They both agreed to this, and Disney did the search, and they got the documents, and then they, like, I think it was the night before, AH has now a new attorney, and this new attorney said that that was not good enough, and that would not suffice. And Disney was like, no, whoa, that's not right. We already agreed to something, and we stood up to our part of the agreement, and now a different attorney is coming in telling us that that's not good enough. So now her attorney, decided that they are going to accuse Disney of the classic bait and switch. Now let's go ahead and see what Disney said to this. This entire dispute is over a single word absent from the declarations that accompanied non-party Walt Disney Motion Picture Group Incorporated, or Disney, complete production in response to petitioner AH. After extensive telephone and email discussions and negotiations, Disney and petitioner's former counsel agreed on the documents that would satisfy the requirements of the subpoena. Disney then performed a thorough search of electronic and paper records and produced those responsive documents along with accompanying declarations by the document custodians. Petitioner then hired new counsel, who is now insisting those declarations state that Disney produced all, quote, all documents in its possession, but Disney's document custodians cannot so declare, because that is not what the parties agreed to, nor what the law requires. This frivolous petition should be denied, as should the absurd request for sanctions against a non-party that has made a full document production. As for petitioner's preposterous request for sanctions, it would be entirely inappropriate for a non-party to be punished for complying with its legal obligations and agreement between the parties. So we can see there that Disney is pretty much had it up to here with AH. They are getting a little upset, and they're upset they need to be hauled into court because she had one lawyer say that that's good enough, and then her lawyer dropped her, which we'll talk about here in a minute. And so she got new counsel, and that counsel tried to say that it wasn't good enough right at the last minute. So now they're hauling Disney into court, accusing them of the bait and switch. It's a little ridiculous, and Disney does not seem to be very happy with it. But moving on, AH also actually tried to sue the LAPD as well. So the LAPD responded on May 21st, 2016 to a DV call from AH. When they responded, they saw no marks, no bruises, no marks of any kind. The apartment or penthouse was in completely fine condition. There seemed to be nothing wrong whatsoever. So they gave AH their business card and they left. Now, AH claims that she was beaten, she has marks all over her body, and the apartment or the penthouse was in complete and total chaos and disarray. There was broken glass everywhere, there was huge puddles of wine, there was, everything on the walls was broken, everything was just everywhere, and it was in complete chaos and disarray, and that is what she said and she testified to. Now, in the UK trial, the police testified in that trial as well, and they also testified to what they saw. They said that they saw no marks, no bruises, the penthouse was in immaculate condition, it was completely clean, there was nothing seemed to be wrong at all. Well, AH pretty much said that they were lying And then she said that she wanted the body cam footage because she said that the cops were lying. So she went ahead and filed a subpoena to get the cops' body cam footage. And when she filed that subpoena, she not only filed the subpoena, but she also filed a Pitchess motion. Now, a Pitchess motion is specific to California. And in this motion, it pretty much looks into the police officers' personnel files and their jackets. So this motion looks into their jackets in their personnel files to see if they can find anything in their past that might show like that they might be lying. Now down here at the bottom you can see it says, after consideration of the briefing filed and oral argument at the hearing, petitioner's petition for the Pitchess discovery is denied. And here is the document here. She says, in response to the subpoena, you are required to produce the original or exact copy of the following. In her subpoena, AH wants all body camera footage for Officer Melissa and Officer Tyler on May 21st, 2016. All documents including policies, procedures, and or protocols respecting the use of and policies and procedures relating to LAPD body cameras, including preservation and use in effect during the period May 21st, 2016 through June 7th, 2016. Number 3, all documents and communications of any nature respecting any effort to observe and or preserve the body camera footage of Officer Melissa and Officer Tyler from their on-duty May 21st, 2016 activities and responses. Number 4, if body camera footage was destroyed, all documents and communications of any nature reflecting when, where, and why they were destroyed. Now recently, and I'm sure you guys have heard this because it was a huge, huge bombshell, but recently the cops' body cam footage was obtained. It was given to JD's attorney, and his attorney actually gave it to the Daily Mails. So the Daily Mail posted it, and you can find it. It's everywhere. It's all over YouTube, and it clearly shows that AH lied big time, and she completely lied about the whole thing. And not only did she testify to this in the UK, that she had marks all over her and the apartment or penthouse was in complete disarray, she testified to that in the UK trial. But she also said that stuff and obtained a restraining order by saying that. So she completely lied, and you can clearly see that she lied. Now, the only thing that I'm wondering is why would she go through all that stuff and subpoena the body cam footage and tell everybody that the cops were lying and try to look into their personnel files to prove that they were lying and say that they were lying for JD or whatever? Why would she do that if she knows she's the one lying? I mean, I think maybe she thought that the body cam footage, it's been several years, so they don't have it anymore. So I'm thinking maybe she thought that they didn't have the body cam footage anymore. So I got the hiccups, I'm sorry. I'm thinking she thought that they did not have the body cam footage anymore. So she took a huge risk, and she tried to act like they're not showing the body cam footage because they know they're lying, and I want to know why, and trying to act like, you know, doing all this stuff to make her look more like she's telling the truth. But then it really backfired horribly because they actually still had the body cam footage, and it shows that she was lying. So she took a big risk right there, and it blew up in her face. Let's go ahead and watch some of that footage. Okay, so here are the cops. They're getting in the elevator, going up to her apartment.
Word round to penthouse 3.
Penthouse.
Be advised, we're stepping on onto the penthouse floor.
Okay, so they made it to the door, knocking on the door. Hello? Oh,
Hello.
find me? He answers the door. That's one of her friends, I'm not sure.
Cyan, maybe? Yeah, we got another call. I don't know if it's related to the same call from earlier or if somebody called again.
Probably.
We just need to check.
One of you guys know someone in New York or something?
Yeah.
She probably called twice.
Okay.
Yeah.
You just talk to your wife just make sure.
Oh, it's not my wife.
Okay.
Different conversation.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, whoever it is, I'm just about, we just gotta check on and make sure they're all good.
I'll go get the business card from the cops.
Yeah, I don't know, just because we got another call and we came again, we still gotta make sure.
Give me 1 second.
Doesn't-
Back up. Please, back up.
Can we just come in and just check? We need to make sure everybody in here is okay and then we.
So look, he tried to shut the door on them and just go get AH, and the cops are like, you know what? No, why don't you let us in? We want to check everything out. So that's good. All right, and they're walking through. Oh my Lord, have mercy! Look at this disarray. Look at all the broken glass everywhere. Look at that big, huge wine puddle. Oh, there it isn't right there.
I don't know if she called twice or whoever called, but.
Everything is, look at this. Everything is completely fine.
We just need to come and make
Everything's
sure
in
that
its place. There's no
okay.
mess anywhere
Nobody else is
whatsoever.
in here?
No.
Okay.
The other officers came by and checked the apartment and the other apartments as well.
Yeah, okay.
It must have been like a double call.
Okay. Who's Amber? Okay, and Johnny
Is definitely not here.
is not here? Okay.
Left probably like 2 hours ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Everything's all good then?
Now it's good.
All right.
Thank you.
Well, if you guys need anything else, just call us back.
Okay, thank you very much.
You have a good night.
Thank you, officer.
Yep, thank you. Have a good night.
And these dogs are happy and running around. If there was glass everywhere, they wouldn't be walking around all happy with their feet. Their feet would be getting cut up. So those dogs just being happy and running around, like, I don't think anything happened. And the whole place is immaculate. There's nothing anywhere. So that was the body cam footage, and the LAPD has announced recently, it just announced that they are opening an investigation up on AH for perjury, because she not only lied and testified in the UK trial and lied about that, but like I said earlier, she also, her and that guy, I forget who he is, they wrote all that down in a statement and went and got a restraining order.
I am shocked and appalled.
So she lied a lot and false allegations and claims and to obtain a restraining order. So the LAPD is now looking into this and they opened up an investigation. So, I mean, this girl is, what is wrong with her, you guys? She is totally like ruining herself. I don't know if this whole thing was just something to like start a little something and maybe get her talked about for a little while or something. I don't know, but it's gone way too far, and I think she knows now that it's gone so far that she can't stop. Hi, baby. I think she knows now that it's gone way too far, and she can't admit it now because she will like get blacklisted in Hollywood and probably never work again. So, but I mean, her lies are everywhere and everybody knows she's lying. I mean, not everybody, because I still see she has some supporters out there that I don't know how they not know that she's lying, but I don't know, you guys. Like, she's just everywhere. She's ruining herself. Like, why? Alright, so not only AH going after Disney and going after the LAPD, but she is now also going after Twitter and Twitter users as well. So she is literally saying that anyone who speaks out against her or like speaks the truth or like exposes her lies, or anyone who is on JD's side, pretty much anyone is a bot and they're not real. So I don't know if this is a tactic from her, or if she really is that delusional and thinks that everyone is on her side, and if anybody is against her then they're not real and they're a bot. I don't know. But yeah, we are all bots. Anyone who is against her is not a real person. We are a bot. And not only are we a bot, but we are ran and controlled by JD. Like, what in the world? So AH also mentions the change.org petition, and she says that that is all signed by bots as well. The change.org petition is the petition that is trying to get her taken out of the Aquaman 2 movie, because people don't think it's fair that JD lost a bunch of his roles because of her lies, but yet she didn't lose any roles because of her lies. Especially now that it came out that she's the aggressor and she still didn't lose any roles, and people are like, whoa, that's not cool. Which I agree. But she's saying that anybody who signed that petition is a bot and not real. So let's go ahead and read these subpoenas to Twitter, that Amber subpoenaed Twitter. So let's go ahead and see what she had to say to Twitter. To accomplish this task, he individually and through his representatives and agents in Virginia has created, coordinated, controlled, and or manipulated social media accounts created specifically for the purpose of targeting AH, computer-controlled social media accounts and or groups of inauthentic accounts controlled by a single agent to amplify content misleadingly. These accounts exhibit behavior which includes but is not limited to the following. They have high tweet to retweet ratio and numbers implausible for authentic human users. So if you retweet a lot, then you're a bot, which when I first got my Twitter, I didn't really know what to say very much, so I retweeted a lot. So does that mean I'm a bot? They are created, attack AH, then are set to inactive to avoid suspension. They utilize common language, patterns, and timing indicating broad coordination. They often offer little or no personal information, suggesting computer control or a single individual controlling multiple accounts at one time, and often many more. And they republicize the content of one another at rates and consistencies that belay authentic human control. So if you like republicize a lot, then you're not a human. Or if you don't offer a lot of personal information, like you don't want everybody to know all your personal information, then you're a bot. And I'm not saying that some of these accounts, some people might have multiple accounts just to attack her, because you know how people are. But how does she know that that's JD doing it? That's kind of silly. Number 9, these accounts are designed to damage AH and her livelihood without being directly traceable to JD. For example, it appears that a significant number of accounts signing the petition to remove AH from the Aquaman franchise are conspicuously fake or highly suspicious. Why? Why are they highly suspicious? Because they signed that petition. It doesn't give any what? I'm sorry, I'm confused. The use of fake signatures on these petitions is well outside the skill set of the average internet troll or disgruntled fan. They reflect a concerted effort to damage AH. Like, why? Okay, so she says the use of fake signatures on these petitions is well outside the skill set. Why are they fake signatures on these petitions? Like, why does she think they're fake? Nothing shows that they're fake. I don't know. She says there are a number of newly created foreign language accounts specifically or predominantly designed to damage AH. Many of these accounts have Cyrillic signatures reflecting Russian origin. JD's agent and attorney is publicly associated with Russian individuals with the capability to organize such attacks. Are you kidding me?
Are you kidding me right now?
2 accounts, this one and my Grindelwald, are responsible for approximately 50% of the targeted attacks on AH. The My Grindelwald account users is its platform to amplify anti-AH hashtags and false information being discriminated about Miss AH. It has also amplified the Change.org petition described above, repeating calls for AH to lose contracts or business expectancies. And, as evidence of its origin, it's routinely tweeted the statement of JD's agent and attorney, Adam Waldman, on a nearly daily basis, and often praises the otherwise unknown attorney, even going so far as to say, quote, "I love you, Waldman." What? What is wrong with her, you guys?
What the crap?
First of all, she said at first she wanted Twitter to give her the IP addresses and all the information for over 200 accounts, but they told her no. So now she did say that they were all the same, like they were all the same, they were all bots. But now, after they told her no, she wants these 2 accounts, the IP address and all their information. I thought they were all the same though, but she's saying these 2 are responsible for over 50% of the damage. Well, why are they bots though? Maybe they're just regular people who really think that she is a horrible person and needs to get her what's coming to her. Why are they ran by JD? I don't get that. And I love how she said, often praises an otherwise unknown attorney. What? Jeez Louise. So she wants the IP addresses and all the personal information of those 2 accounts. And she not only wants like the IP addresses, but she wants the IP addresses of everywhere that they've ever logged into Twitter. So like if they went to their grandma's house or something and logged into Twitter there, she wants that IP address as well. Like, why? She wants all of their private information, and she claims it's to prove that they're not a bot, but I don't really buy that. I think that she wants all of their personal information so she can, like, go after them or intimidate them. That's what I think, personally. I just got this new, like, Tarte Shape Tape thing, and I think it's concealer, but it comes with, like, a little, like, blender down here, but it said it's for under eye, so I wonder if it's just under eye. I don't know. Let's try it. It came in the BoxyCharm box this month. I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with her, but she, not only that, but she wants more. She wants all of Adam Waldman's personal or private messages. Take a look at this. In response to the subpoena, you are required to produce the original or exact copy of the following: all posts made by Adam Waldman to Twitter from the period of May 21st, 2016 to present. And she also wants all messages sent to or received by Twitter account Adam Waldman. So she wants all of his private messages from May 21st, 2016 to present. His private messages. Those could be other cases. Those could be family and friends, like just private stuff. She wants all of that. Like, and he's an attorney. That could be possibly, you know, attorney-client privilege if it's other people, clients, you know what I mean. Now, there was a, Virginia did go ahead and respond to this, her subpoena to Twitter, and look what they had to say. They said the allegation that Mr. Depp has initiated, coordinated, overseen, and or supported and amplified 2 Change.org petitions, one to remove AH as an actress in the Aquaman franchise, and one to remove her as a spokesperson for L'Oreal, fails under the second prong of the VCCA. Nothing in that allegation implies facts shown that the Change.org petitions included obscene language, threatened illegal or immoral acts, or suggests or purpose obscene acts. Likewise, the allegations that JD has created, coordinated, controlled, and manipulated social media accounts created specifically for the purpose of targeting AH also failed under the second prong of the VCCA. The pleading fails to demonstrate that the social media accounts communicated obscene language, suggested obscene acts, or threatened illegal or immoral acts, because neither of those allegations meet the second element of the VCCA. They cannot move forward in this litigation. The remaining 2 allegations of the computer usage fail under the third prong of the VCCA because AH has not alleged that they were made in the intent to coerce, intimidate, or harass. Rather, it appears that JD texted those statements privately to 2 of his friends, and AH has not alleged that JD intended for her to see them. Accordingly, this court sustains that demurrer to count 3 since none, sorry, I need new contacts. None of Ms. Heard's allegations satisfy the prongs of the VCCA. So Virginia did respond, and they basically said, no, that's silly, kind of, and it was just a waste of time. But moving on from there, AH attorney drops her. So remember I said she got a new attorney? Well, her attorney, Roberta Kaplan, she's the founder of the brand, the hashtag Time's Up Now. Well, she literally dropped AH like a bad habit. Let me tell you why it's like a bad habit. When she withdrew from the case, she said it was because of the traveling expenses became too much during the pandemic, and it was too costly for her and her firm. Which I don't know about you guys, but I don't buy that. She's literally working for, you know, it's not just an average person. It's AH. She has some money, you know. I'm sure she's being compensated for her travel expenses. I just don't buy that. In my personal opinion, she knows that AH is lying, or like she found out something about her, or found out that she's been lying about everything, and she doesn't want anything to do with it. Because remember I said she is the founder of that hashtag Time's Up Now? Well, Roberta Kaplan, not only did she withdraw from the case, but she completely went through all of her social media and deleted any kind of mention of AH at all. Like, every time she's ever tweeted or Instagrammed or anything that mentions AH in the slightest, she deleted it. Now, why would she do that? If it's just too costly for her to travel during the pandemic, then why delete like any mention of AH whatsoever? it just does not really make sense to me. There are also rumors and allegations that AH paid her friends and family to lie for her. Now, I almost did that backwards. Now, JD is saying $10,000. Now, he's given a pretty specific amount, so I wonder what he knows that we don't know, because that's pretty specific, you know what I mean? So JD actually subpoenaed all communications from AH and her friends and family that had anything to do with anything with JD, anything with the case, anything about money or buying them anything or anything like that. So he subpoenaed all communications between her family and friends and her. So we'll see if they find anything about that. Her friends and family also all have to give depositions about their communications, and if they are caught lying, it could be pretty bad for them. So I'm really curious to see what happens with that. Jennifer Howell. Let's go ahead and talk about Jennifer Howell for a minute. Jennifer Howell was the best friend of Whitney, AH's sister. Now, they were best friends for an awful long time, and they called each other my chosen sister. Now, Jennifer Howell is, or was, Whitney's very best friend. Whitney is AH's sister. So, they were very, very good friends. They were very best friends, and they called themselves chosen sister. Well, Jennifer Howell has been seeing what is going on lately, and she does not think it is right, so she is coming out and speaking her truth and what she knows. And I don't know, like, I've read a lot of stuff from Jennifer Howell, like her tweets and her deposition and just the way she talks and like the energy she gives off. She just seems like a really genuine, good-hearted person to me. But she was friends with Whitney for a very long time. And do you guys remember in AH's divorce deposition where she said that JD like almost pushed her sister down the stairs?
He was about to push my sister down the stairs. She was attempting to break us up. I am protective over my baby sister. When he laid hands on her, I don't know what I did, but I know I jumped in between the actions that I saw could lead to a fatal injury to my sister. She was standing on the top of a flight of the stairs, and she has never hurt anyone in her life, and she does not deserve to be pushed down the flight of stairs. And it looked like she was about to be.
Yeah, that part. But anyway, I guess Whitney left after that and went to Jennifer's house, and she stayed with her. Well, she ended up telling Jennifer everything that happened, which was not what AH said happened. Basically, it was all AH. AH was like hitting JD, and she almost pushed her down the stairs, not him. I think Whitney has told Jennifer a lot, and Jennifer knows a lot. So she decided to come out with her truth, and let's go ahead and read that. Jennifer Howell says, how would you keep faith in the goodness and humanity and in God above if, number one, you allowed someone into your life, your life's work, your personal sanctuary, and then had to stand witness to their lies? Number two, someone who has worked with you for nearly a decade told you that their best friend had been drugged to a different country to perjure themselves on a stand and was losing clumps of hair and tons of weight because they were so distraught about it. Yikes. Number three, this same longtime employee allowed that person that was said to have dragged their best friend to the stand to perjure themselves, was then allowing the person that they said this was about to pay for their attorney. What if you were incurring legal bills to try and just tell the honest to God truth? What if other employees were being contacted and told to call you a liar? What if, as a witness for the actual truth, you discover that the quote-unquote Judas actually exists and will take everything sacred to you and use it for lies and deceit? What if, by having a conviction to do what is right, you are called into question for, quote, wanting 15 minutes of fame, end quote, and being obsessed with two people that you never thought about once until someone else that you love dearly was lying under oath, now, quote, obsessed with how lies and deceit could prevail in a just society? What if you received death threats on social media platforms 2 days before you were going to speak your absolute truth? Oh, and your family too. You have to think about putting your family at risk for doing what is right in a country that is meant to be a symbol of freedom. What if you realized the media, the justice system, some of the people you loved and sacrificed your very self for were corrupt, could be bought with silver, and had no allegiance to the truth? Would you still hold on to your faith? Richard Sphere, Mayor Brown, Marcel Pariseau, Leslie Culp, my best friends in the world, my incredible family, and ... Adam Waldman, whom I have never met, have allowed me to keep the faith because they have shown me that some people in this world actually hold truth. That is just crazy, you guys. Like, I feel like so bad for her. Okay. Yeah. That is crazy, you guys. I feel very, very bad for her. I feel like all of this stuff is happening to her just because she wants to tell the truth, because she sees what's happening and she's like, this isn't right. So she wants to tell the truth, and AH and all of her friends or whatever are completely going after her, which just isn't right. But like she says, you know, eventually the truth will prevail. Another thing that I want to talk about is the Australia situation. I talked about it in my first video, but if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, pretty much smuggled her dogs into Australia. And when she did this, she was actually told that she could not do it. Her assistants or whatever told her that she could not take the dogs. They told her that they were not ready. There was like a 10-day quarantine period and a bunch of paperwork, and none of it was ready. And she did it anyways. And she got caught, got in trouble. Pretty much JD had to fork out a bunch of money and get them on a private plane back home. And it costed him like an arm and a leg or whatever. But she pretty much just apologized. She shifted the blame on her assistants and said that they told her that they were ready and she didn't know, and she's sorry. And Australia let it off with a warning. Well, when she tested, like when the UK trial happened, people talked about the Australian situation, and they were told, like her assistants testified in the UK, and they told them that she said that it was their fault, and they told her the dogs were ready and blah, 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 and they said, we did not say that. This is false. We didn't say that. She knew the dogs weren't ready, and she took them anyway. Well, Australia caught wind of that and heard about all of that, and they were not happy at all. Australia is pretty strict about that kind of stuff, and they do not like being made to be out made out to be a fool, pretty much. So they were upset, and they had this to say.
There was a question this morning in relation to. I can confirm the department is investigating that matter. So there was evidence presented in the London court case which suggested false statements were provided in the court case in Australia in 2016. So we are investigating that.
So what's the timeline? You expect that investigation and decision made about?
As I understand it, the former state manager of Johnny Depp, Kevin Murphy, said in a witness statement that he told quote, by email, telephone and in person, that she could not take the dogs to Australia because the relevant paperwork and permits were not complete and the required 10-day quarantine arrangements had not been put in place. Murphy continued, Ms. later told the court in Australia that I had told her it was fine to bring the dogs into Australia. That is false, and I never told her this.
Yes, so Senator, we understand that to be the case, or the evidence provided in the London court case, and giving a false testimony is an offence under the Crimes Act, so that is what we are now investigating.
So they are definitely not happy, and they are going to be opening up an investigation, or they did open up an investigation on AH about that. So I don't know what's going to happen with that. But that too, it's just another thing, you know. But again, let's keep going here, guys. We're almost there. We're just going to call him the Rocket Man. That's what we call him, because apparently we're not supposed to say his name either. But the Rocket Man is being forced by JD to testify. They want all communication between the Rocket Man and AH starting from March 2013. Now, there is the first witness on this matter, and his name is Alejandro Romero, and he ran security in the building that JD lived in. Now, he says that, let's see if I can. Now, he says that, let's read his statement here. He says, quote, I knew AH to be a resident of the Penthouse 3 in the Eastern. I saw this person for the first time in July 2015, but I understand she was not a resident until March 2016. My interaction with this person was limited to brief interactions about logistical matters in the apartments, including, for example, giving access to guests from March 2015 onward. AH was visited late at night regularly around 11 p.m. by the Rocket Man. For his initial visits, I would receive a call from AH who would tell me to give the Rocket Man access to the garage of the garage of the building, and then sent him up to the penthouse. After a few visits, AH provided the Rocket Man with his own garage remote to her penthouse. I believe that he visited AH a few times a week, and he would always visit when JD was not home. End quote. I just realized something. He said that she didn't move in until March 2016, but the Rocket Man started visiting her in 2015. So before she even lived there, when she was just staying there with JD, when he would go to work, she would have the Rocket Man come over. How is that, you guys? Like, she didn't even live there yet. Like, jeez. That's so disrespectful. But anyway, JD and his legal team requested and did subpoenas, and they want all communication between AH and the Rocket Man during all of those dates and forward until their divorce, I think. And if they don't tell the truth, they might get into some hot water, because there are witnesses to the contrary, as you just saw. Also in 2016, there are pictures of a model named Cara D going up into the elevator to a certain penthouse, and a resident said that they saw that model, that Cara, with AH and the Rocket Man, and they were going up and down, up and down, up and down the elevator like all night. And AH denies this, but there is witnesses and video to the contrary. I'm just thinking, like, we all know that AH likes females too, and with her and the Rocket Man and this other girl all night long, I wonder what they're doing. But why are they going up and down the elevator all night? That's kind of weird. Unless they were going out to get something a bunch of times in that night. maybe. I'm just kind of interested in the communications between AH and the Rocket Man, and it all has to be turned over. I mean, we all know that they were having an affair, probably, allegedly. But what if she told him, like, the truth about all the DV, and, like, now he has to testify to that or turn that over? That would just really, really suck for her. Be funny for us, but it'd suck for her. The next thing I want to talk about is Adam Waldman, JD's attorney. He was suspended from Twitter, and they're saying now that he's permanently suspended from Twitter, and he pretty much did nothing wrong. It's absolutely ridiculous, you guys. So Twitter is saying that he violated their guidelines by posting private information. But, I mean, come on, the guy is a lawyer. He's not stupid. He's not gonna post stuff he's not allowed to. But everything that he posted was literally public information. Like, even him posting court documents, that's all public information. He's allowed to do that. How did they suspend his account for that? And not only that, but there's a bunch of emails of him going back and forth with Twitter. The Umbrella Guy did a video about it. I'll link it in the description box. But his emails going back and forth with Twitter, and they're pretty much not giving him a reason why his account is suspended, but they said that it was going to be suspended permanently. I'm just like, what? It's crazy. I'm scared. I don't know who at Twitter decided to do this, but this is completely ridiculous. It's a total overreach, Twitter. Come on. So check this out right here, you guys. This is showing Adam Waldman's account and that it's suspended. And right underneath it, there is this girl named Ivana Escalera, and she is tagging that Umbrella Guy. And like I said, he's one of the YouTubers that covers JD and AH like very thoroughly, and she tagged him and said, "You're next." I'm just like, are you serious right now? And then right here, it says an update on your reports, and it says she reported somebody named Ivy, but down here it says Adam Waldman violating our rules against posting private information. We appreciate your help and blah blah blah. So she's the one who reported Adam Waldman. But then right here, it literally, she says, I didn't even report tweets, I just reported his account. So she didn't even report tweets, she just reported his account, but they went in and, you know, whatever. But, and then she just says, carry on, you'll be next, and then insults her for losers. And like, she's threatening people, and like, how? This is crazy to me. I mean, they have this information of this girl threatening, and they are still like saying that his account is going to be suspended indefinitely. That's insane to me. Also, you know how I mentioned that umbrella guy? You know how I mentioned that Umbrella Guy a couple of times, and he covers this topic really, really well? Well, his YouTube channel got mass flagged as well, right around the same time. Well, no, it was a little after Adam Waldman's Twitter got suspended. Now his the Umbrella Guy's YouTube channel got mass flagged. Her fans are acting ridiculous, and I was just thinking, you know, even if I was somebody's fan and all this stuff came out that they were possibly acting this way or doing these things, even if I was a really, really big fan of them, I would want them to, I would want to know the truth. Like, I would want to know what was really going on, because I want to know who I'm a fan of, and if they were acting that way, then I don't want to be their fan. I don't understand what's wrong with these people, and they just try to have all this proof, and they're still like they didn't do anything wrong. I'm just really confused. I don't see why people act like this. And like, even if I wasn't a fan and I was just neutral, I would want to know the truth. Don't people want to know what really happened and the truth? Why would you try to cover it up? And why would you try to silence people who are trying to, you know, share the truth? I don't know, but that is all of the updates that have happened since the trial so far. I am going to do a few final touches and I will be back with the final thoughts. Alright guys, I zoomed you in so you can see the final look. I hope you like it. It is decent, I guess. Black and pink. I love black and pink. But what do you guys think about everything that has happened so far? All of these updates we did, what do you guys think of all of them? I think some of them are just a little bit absurd. I can't even believe some of these and how stupid some of them are. But now that everybody is up to speed, we can continue with all the updates without like having a huge like thing. So every time something happens, I can let you guys know, keep everybody up to speed on this case. But definitely let me know what you guys think. I love hearing everything that you guys have to say about everything that we talk about on this channel. So definitely let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. And if you guys have not subscribed to my channel yet, please do so. You know you want to. I would love to have you guys in the family. And if you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It really, really helps. And until next time, you guys, in a world where you can be anything, please be kind. Bye, guys.